When I do my crumb quilting, I like to be pretty consistent with the colour, because that's the way that I like to do my crumb quilting. It's totally up to you. You can do totally different random colour. I just like to get one colour that is just pink, all different tones and shapes, and it doesn't matter how big or large your scrap fabrics are. We can cut them down. So let's get started. So have your iron handy. I'm just going to press this. So let's say we have this little piece like this. We can keep it this length, and we can get our other sections of crumb quilting, and we can line them all up here. And then what we can do is flip all these right sides together. As long as you've got straight lines, it's perfect. So if you've got curves in your scraps, make sure that they are straight for your crumb quilting. And then what we're going to do is sew all the way down here. You may want to pin so these guys don't move about on you. I am not paid nor sponsored to create this video. I use a Babylock Soprano. Let me know in the comments box down below which sewing machine you use. Now, in my thread, I'm going to have a white polyester. I generally use a white thread on lighter fabrics and a black thread on a darker fabric. These are the machine setups that I'm going to be using on my stitches, so you know. It also lets me know which foot to be using, which I think is absolutely awesome. I'm also going to turn on my pivot key, and I'll let you know what that does in a second. We probably don't really need this feature, but I like to turn it on. I'm also going to put my 1/4 of an inch foot with guide on to help me get my 1/4 of an inch. There's a 9014 Microtex sewing needle in my sewing machine, and also some matching white bobbin thread. I always like to start with my needle in the down position. I always like to keep it in that down position, so if I actually raise the press foot up, then the needle is holding my fabric into place. So let's sew this crumb quilt into place. And that's that pivot key coming to action. So every time I press my accelerator foot down, my presser foot will go down. So you never see me going to the back of the machine here. This presser foot automatically raises up and down for me. So here we go. This is the start of your crumb quilting. So this is the first part of our crumb quilt, and we're going to break it apart. So we're just going to line up the ends there. I'm going to cut that one off. I'm going to do the same with the others, and if they're not straight, this is where we can take the opportunity to make them straight, because you always want to make sure that you're sewing with the straight lines. So I'm just going to go around. I'm just going to cut the sides off, and you're just going to end up with like little scraps like this now. Now you can either use it as stuffing or you can garbage, it's up to you. I made a reusable sponge in one of my videos, so that would be great for your reusable sponge. And so you're basically just tidying up all of these ends. And now you're going to go back and you're going to open all of these up and you're going to press them. Have you ever done crumb quilting? Let me know in that comment box down below. And do you like to keep your fabrics consistent? Or do you like just to pick random different colours? Let me know in that comment box. So here we go. This is what we are left with now. So what we do now is we're going to get more scraps and we're going to attach them scraps onto these scraps. So I'm going to do the same again. I've got this long strip here and I'm going to turn all these right sides along this long strip. And just attach these so they don't move on you. Go over to the sewing machine, stitch these crumbs into place. And then we've got another crumb quilting section. And we have to just go through again. I think I have to change my rotary cutter. It's getting a bit blunt. And then we'll just go through and tidy them ends up again. So I'm going to go through and make it a little bit bigger, and I'll show you what I do when I get a bigger crumb quilting block formed up. Now I have these two small sections and I don't like my crumb quilting to look this big. I like it to look like crumbs. So look at this one, how it's like little tiny pieces, and you would never be able to get these little tiny pieces by just doing regular quilting. So what I like to do now is start cutting at these sections here. So I'm going to do 3 all the way down here, and I'll do the same. I'm going to switch around and do it like this way and then this way, and now you're starting to create that crumb quilt. Then the different sections that you have cut, you're going to stitch them ones back together again, creating a more crumb quilt look. And then we have something that kind of looks like this, and I'm still not happy with this big piece going across, so I'm going to do it once again. I really do want it to look like a cool looking crumb quilt block. So there we go, and then you could mix them ones about and stitch them back together. Let's say we have our bigger section and we want to merge the one that we've just done. You can do that. So I would place this and just sew right along. Then with your rotary cutter, take that one end off. It may become quite hard with all of the seams, but you will get through there. And I'm going to do the same with the other side. Are you going to try crumb quilting? It's so much fun. Oh, and while I remember, I have hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos on my channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And there is lots of videos like this waiting for you. With this section here, we can just leave to one side until we have another piece to join this together. With this piece, we just press it open, and in no time you'll end up with a piece of crumb quilting fabric like this. It looks super cool and unique. So keep on building from the small pieces and you end up with larger pieces like this. Just keep cutting with your rotary cutter, attaching, doing more pieces. It's really mindless quilting. Thank you for watching this crumb quilting tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.